Hello guys, this is Dr. Lior Bar-El. Like promised, I said I was going to get the Legion Go, the Lenovo Legion Go, and after a lot of back and forth with them and a lot of delivery issues, even though a lot of people that were promised a date, it came on another date. I managed to get it today, so I'm going to be doing a lot right now. I'm going to be first telling you what reviewers are doing on YouTube that actually makes this thing look bad, and I'm going to explain how they did it is wrong. I'm going to tell you guys what's good about it, what's bad about it, and as an owner of the Steam Deck, was an owner of the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally, I'm going to tell you a comparison of all of them and which one, if I think you should sell them both to get this baby right here. So anyways, I don't want to waste too much time. Let's get right into it. Okay guys, so first we're going to do a quick unboxing, okay? So let me get this out of the way. So if you guys bought it from Lenovo, I don't know how it is in what do you call it, in Best Buy or any other place, but I am going to recommend a place to buy it instead of Lenovo, something I should have thought of before. I'm going to tell you guys that later. So this is an AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme. Now, I am going to tell you why, first off, 3.3 gigahertz, and it could be, I think, boosted up to like 5.1, 5.2, or something like that, turbo boost. Now, I am going to tell you why I'm a big fan of AMD as a person who builds computers and did it for a business when I was, for my own business when I was in college. AMDs run cooler than Intel, even though Intels right now are coming out with their own handheld. And, we live in a great age right now for pocket computers that have Joy-Cons on them. I would still go with AMD all the way, only because, the fact that they run, much cooler, 16 threads, 8 cores on this baby right here. I got the 1 terabyte version because it makes no sense to pay $699 for 512, so a little bit more, and you got a 1 terabyte version. Of course, you could later on upgrade that to a 2 terabyte, and I believe it goes into a micro SD. You could put another up to 2. It supports up to 2 on that as well, even though I just have a 1, so you could easily get a 1 card, which I'm going to recommend a good one later on in another episode. Okay, so let's see, and they have a GPU integrated, of course, which is a AMD Radeon, which I'm not a big fan of, because Radeon chips that usually has a lot of compatibility issues, which I am not a big fan of. So, but we'll see how this baby rocks and how it fares, because I'm an NVIDIA guy and I'm not a fanboy, but it's just the way it is. So over here, I'm going to show you guys, I'm just going to pull this baby out. So it might come different to you guys if you bought it from other places. But anyways, let me just get it really quick. So guys, I'm not going to lie to you when I tell you this. No matter, even on here, when you're going to see it, that's my pup. Even on here, when you're going to see it, I cannot tell you how massively big this is. Even in numbers, how massively big this system is. I kid you not. It is one hell of a giant system. So it comes in this little thing right here. Okay guys, gonna go for a little overhead shot so you can see how this thing looks right here. Okay, so we're gonna just take it over here. Okay guys, so pardon the mess here, but trying to get this for you guys from an overhead shot. So you can see right here. So this is the actual unit. We'll get into that in a second. So this one right here. Get the best from your device, Lenovo series, whatever. Let me see here. Okay, I don't know what this is. I guess Big Nothing Burger. I don't know. This one, that is the power supply. Let's see how this thing is. Oh wow, this thing is not even coming up like this. So power supply. Almost feels like there's more in here, but there isn't. It's like they do this origami thing with the box. So you could get a more powerful power supply than this, but this is pretty cool. Pretty much does a quick charge, and I'm going to explain to you guys the whole plus behind this version, behind this compared to what you see in usual handheld systems. So let me just, yeah, this is a 65 watt. So we'll get into that. So it comes with a nice, very kind of clamshell case. Has a charge port right here, and even though I'm sure you guys saw this already in a lot of the reviews, but I'm going to explain some things because there's been some misunderstandings a lot. I always like keeping this as like sort of like a mesh on the screen, and I am going to do a review for you guys on a screen protector that I'm sure you guys are going to absolutely like for your system, one that I really recommend, like I do for the phones and all that stuff. So it comes with, you know, this dock right here. Now this is kind of stupid because there's two of them, but for some reason you could only put one. Another very, very stupid thing is the fact that you can't put your there's nowhere to put your freaking power adapter in, which is kind of ridiculous, to be honest with you. But if you're taking it on the go with you, obviously with its short battery life, you would want you know, something there. But you can see here, very, very cushiony, very nice the way they have it made. So it's pretty good. I just wish they had it for the you know, for the power supply on there, because this is kind of stupid. Anyway, so there you go. This is, it comes in a non-so-fancy bag. Now, mind you, this is like with the tax about what, like $800 something, $859. Absolutely insane. Now, guys, let me tell you, I see the reviews, okay? It does not look big. Even in my camera right here, okay? Even in my camera, I'm telling you, this is not big enough. It does not look big enough as it actually is. I have orangutan hands, okay? And this is insane how big this thing is. It's absolutely insane. It doesn't look ergonomic at all, like the ROG Ally or the Steam Deck. This thing is comically big, and I mean that. It's like you basically took a sort of a tablet and just put, you know, controllers on it, and that's about it. That's how big this thing is. Now, in this one, you see, this is not some cheap stuff. You could clearly tell this is some really strong material. They didn't cut edges like the Nintendo Switch did. But I always find it so funny that Nintendo goes after so many people for copying them or stealing their products. And this looks almost like a knockoff of the Nintendo Switch. So it, just very, very comical. But the way it feels in my hands, I would say with my orangutan hands, I would definitely tell you I love the feel of this thing. Now, that doesn't mean you will. Now, if your hands are smaller than mine or something like that, you guys might not really be fans of this thing at all. In fact, I'm willing to bet you guys would probably hate it. You know, like people reported all kinds of things on the Nintendo Switch before, that it was too small. Some people reported other things like the Moga, it was too big. Okay, now, I just wanted to make sure that people understood what's going on. I see a lot of reviewers, what they do is they take apart these and they lay it on the vents. Okay, so there's vents over here. Now, laptops, a lot of them, laptop makers now, like my Predator gaming laptop, which you guys can see here. Let me just see if I can take it. I can't. It's like too plugged in. They have vents that are coming out from the keyboard because people realize that a laptop, you're putting it on your lap, you're covering the vents, you're overheating stuff, right? So what happens is these things, once they boost, they're going to be really, really, really hot if you block the vents. And now this, because it's a gaming system, you're not going to have really a lot of vents here. I mean, sure, they'll come out of holes in here, but the actual vents are right over here. So what these reviewers are doing, and I'm seeing so many of them doing that, even without these, they're putting it down and saying, look how loud the fans are. This is bad. The fans are extremely noisy, as they say. Even if they put this on, it gives it sort of like, you see, like a little bump here, so it does dissipate a little bit of the air. It's still going to be hot because it's still not enough ventilation. Then you going like this. So something just to, you know, when you're seeing these reviews, don't really, you know, take it with a grain of salt, and understand that there's people that really don't know how to use certain items, and they're still doing reviews just to do reviews or get paid to do reviews or whatever. So something to, you know, keep note of. Another thing is here, just to let you know, it's very easy, okay, to upgrade. It's just standard screws here, guys. Really standard screws, small screws, but standard screws. You remove them. Basically, there's a black sticker over it. You move it, you unplug the SSD, and then you basically take, there's this silver cover. I'm going to do you know, when I do an upgrade for you guys, I'm going to show it to you you know, I'm going to tape it for you. I'm going to record it for you, tape it for you. Take out the metallic aluminum cover, which is just heat conductor. You take that out and then put in the new 2 terabyte in there, and then just cover it up with that same one, and then the black sticker, and you should be good to go. But anyways, this is how it looks. Now, I am going to say something, another thing that some reviewers are not telling you, and I want to make sure that you guys understand this. So the Steam Deck has a touch screen right here that helps navigate Windows, but also you could play like FPS and all kinds of cool games on it, right? Now, I am going to say this, because Steam Deck is smaller and the location of the touchpad is in a location where it's really reachable, for the Steam Deck, it works really, really wonderful. For this, on the other hand, it becomes more of, it's not made for games. It's made only for navigating Windows. Okay, guys, now just to let you know, this doesn't go on and off like in the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch, I mean, really genius thing. You press this, you go right up. This thing is kind of, you got to wiggle it, and eventually it disconnects, as you guys see. I'm not a big fan of how it connects and disconnects. I really think the way the Nintendo Switch has it is a more, you know, is just better all around, because I see this as, you know, kind of scary. Like I might break it. But there is a plus, and you see, like, you gotta crack it. Probably after, and you could see it's kind of made of plastic here, right? Yeah, kind of plasticky. So you could possibly break these. But the beauty is, that makes this better than the ROG Ally and the, what do you call, hold on, let me just try to get it off of this one too. The ROG Ally and the Steam Deck is the fact that it has removable controllers. Now, not just because you could use it like Joy-Cons, but if something were to go wrong with these, you know, you could just replace them instead of having to open up an entire unit and start, you know, like the Nintendo, Switch Lite. You have to open up the whole system to try to fix the controller. And if the controller is a mess, you got to get it, you know, serviced. And it's just one big headache after another. These things will not cause drift, but, you know, because I had similar controllers before that used the same kind of technology, and you know, you didn't have any issues with that at all. So that's something that's good about having these little Joy-Cons. I'm still going to call it Joy-Cons. Giant monkey hand Joy-Cons. That's what, for me, I would kill for the Nintendo Switch to have something like this. And hopefully the Nintendo Switch 2 will have something along those lines. But again, not a big fan of the way it disconnects, because I see these cracking. I'm sorry, but the way you got to be rough with them, maybe through, you know, wearing, you know, a little bit of wear and tear, and, you know, where it'll be much better. This, I could see why they did it this way, but if I'm playing handheld mode, this is a pain in the butt to try to get into, you know. And this one, you put, you know, the switch over here, you go to FPS or whatever, and you just do this, and now it has a magnet. The demo didn't have that magnet, and you basically go on and use it like a mouse, but also kind of like a gun in a way. You see, like this and whatever, and this wheel here, you're to cycle weapons. Believe it or not, I used it like this before, and I'm going to tell you, I don't find it practical. I find it more of a gimmick. Now, because if I'm already doing that, I'm going to play on my laptop. I'm going to play on my computer. But maybe if I'm taking something like this of its massive size on, you know, on a plane somewhere on vacation or whatever, and I have some downtime, it's nice to have that, you know, put on the table and just play away. It just, I don't see it practical for the way way I do things. But it's nice, nevertheless, to have something like that. But I don't like the fact that they had to do this. Like, I would have liked to have the buttons more like this on both sides, and then have an extra button here if you're doing FPS when you're turning the switch on or whatever. That would have been pretty cool. But again, they did not have that option, so I'm kind of disappointed with that. Now, something that I liked about this that I didn't like about the demos is the D-pad, guys. Okay, so the D-pad, I'm telling you, feels much better here. Kind of feels like the old Nintendo controllers, but just more, so they have clicks to them, but the other one was like, kind of like when you're buying a knockoff controller. The demo had like those knockoff controller D-pads that just feel like crap in your hands. This thing actually feels pretty good when you're using it. The response times are amazing. Everything, the tactile feedback feels good, and you know, the sliding feels great. Would I've loved to see a circle and all that? Yeah, because I'm used to that. I'd probably enjoy it much more than, you know, the norm. I don't have a problem with these at all. I think they're pretty cool. Some people have issues with that, but again, like a lot of people are marketing to you, oh, this is like the Steam Deck. I could just have my hands over here and play FPS. Guys, the location of it is so annoying that I'm gonna tell you, this is not made for FPS. I would say it's even though I'm sure I could do it because my hands are freakishly big. I don't know if my you know, it looks like that, but I could probably pull it off, but it's more made for navigating Windows than anything else. Okay, so that's something to think about. Now, I am going to tell you guys something right now. Let me just try to get this inside. And like I said, extremely, extremely annoying. But it just, you see, like it just, and then you pull it up. I would have just rather have it, but I guess Nintendo patented. That's why maybe they're not coming after him. I don't know. But I would have much rather have a system I mean, you know, Joy-Cons that would actually run better, you know, come off better than the norm. Okay, guys, so just look at what happens when you charge this thing. It's pretty cool. It tells you, it actually turns on, and it tells you, you're going to see here, how much, you know, it has. Now, the thing that I want you guys to know is that this thing, unlike most handheld systems that charge to 100%, and while you're playing, you could do that, this thing actually only charges in increments because it doesn't want to destroy your battery. So you might need to take a break if it's not 100% filled, and then you're doing, you know, you're hooking it up or putting it on a deck of sorts to power it. Then you'll be fine. It'll play for, you know, as long as you want it. But if you're going from, let's say, 30% and hooking it up, it's actually, from my experience, it was draining more. Not draining more. I'm going to say it still drains more than it fills up. Okay, if that makes any sense. Sort of like the Blackmagic cameras. You can't really have it, you know, hooked up the original production camera, because if you do that, it doesn't give enough juice to fill up the camera while it's on, if that makes any sense. So this is exactly the same issue. I don't call it an issue because it actually protects your battery, and it charges really, really quick. So you really don't have to care about any of that. So now we're gonna turn this baby on because I just want to show you how it is. So nice right here. Shows you like a nice sliding on all of them, and you see the Legion go right here. And I'm gonna also talk to you guys about the speakers and, you know, where the speakers are better. I'm just going to tell you right now, ROG, you know, is better than the Steam Deck and better than this when it comes to speakers. Okay, so there's no doubt about that. And I don't care what anybody tells you on reviews or anything like that. The speakers are just better on the ROG Ally than on the Lenovo Legion Go and on the Steam Deck. Now, if you compare it to the Steam Deck, I would say it's about the same, maybe. Now, the thing that I love about this is it operates Windows 11, right? So what's the beauty about Windows 11, right? Let me just put this on because I need some of my monitoring because I don't know if it works. The cool part about Windows 11 is when you're playing on a Steam Deck, right? You can't play all the games. It's only what's on Steam unless you install Windows 11. It runs Linux. Oh, God, it's doing that thing where it's talking. No! Anyways, but at least you guys hear now how it is. Let me just shut it. But what's cool about running an ROG or this is when you have a Windows 11 base unit, you can bootleg, you can emulate, you could do whatever the hell you want because it's a Windows system. This is basically a pocket gaming computer that with Joy-Cons slammed into it, okay? Or a controller slammed into it and you take it on the go. So you could do a bunch of things on that, but you could also go to Epic Games. You could go to anything. Cheats, games with the cheat thing, which unfortunately Steam Deck does not, you know, have good compatibility with that. But again, Steam Deck does ace when it comes to when it comes to their line of you know, OS. Their operating system rocks. I mean, nothing could compare, not even this. None of them could compare. So that definitely Steam Deck takes the win on that one. Let's see, when I add a second keyboard layout, skip. Oh God, this is getting more annoying by the minute. And also, just when we're doing the updates, just wanted to make sure that you guys knew. They have a USB up here to charge it. So if you can't do it in the bottom and you have it on like stand, it's nice to know that option is there. The micro SD, which you could easily go up to another terabyte on, you know, for like, I think in B&H Photo, they have it now. A card, which I'm going to be doing a review for you guys, because definitely I recommend this over the other cards that I use, which is the SanDisk. But either way, the SanDisk is about $99. This other one that I forgot, I don't know why I'm forgetting the name. It was first time I actually used it on a device of mine on a camera, and it actually worked brilliantly. And it's like $75 right now, so really cheap for a terabyte, and you'll have 2 terabytes right here, and you don't even have to open up the device. If you guys are scared to do that, I totally understand. This is one hell of an investment. So just, you know, that's that. Now, I am going to tell you guys, I am still downloading things, so we're going to, you know, just wait a little while. I want to make sure that I give you guys the benchmarks, but, you know, so far, you know, we're going to look into Cyberpunk and Hogwarts Legacy, and I'm going to tell you exactly how many hours I get out of each and every one of them, playing on, you know, regular normal settings, which is going to look great on this, and we'll see how the heck, you know, how the heck it turns out in terms of, you know, all of that. I'll also probably do Tekken 7. It's one of my favorite games also. We'll see how the heck that pans out. I do know when I was watching YouTube on it, I got about 3.5 hours. You could also do probably 4 hours. I don't know if I paid attention too much, but I think it's about 3.5 to 4 hours. You could get on watching just YouTube videos and doing some, you know, computer work and all of that. So pretty freaking genius right here. I like the fact that they have the USB-C port, so you can, you know, hook up just about anything you want into it. Again, guys, this is a gaming computer. That's really what it is. A pocket. Well, it's not pocket. You can't put this in your pocket. It's like, I mean, you could literally tell. I also want to do a comparison in size here. I mean, just look at the Nintendo Switch compared to this. I mean, there's no doubt. It's like, this thing is massive. Okay, so no doubt. Also, the screen looks nicer, and granted, I have on my Nintendo Switch an OLED model, so it looks really great. But to have a big monitor like this, like I call it a monitor, a tablet like this, looks actually pretty awesome. And again, I just wish that the Joy-Cons would be moving out and stuff, just like on the Switch. It almost feels like I'm breaking it every time I take it out. I don't know if that is what it is, but right now I'm downloading the Legion app, I'm downloading Steam app, I'm downloading Epic app, so I'm getting a bunch of things right here. Now remember, in Epic Games, I don't know if I told you guys could get free games. Every month they give out like 2 free games, and sometimes they're like real A-lister games. Pretty awesome. I mean, I got Tomb Raider, I got Horizon Dawn, a lot of cool games. Maybe I should do a Horizon Dawn on this thing too. I think that would be pretty cool. What do you guys think? If you want me, I could run that in another episode, but I think 3 games will be pretty cool to do battery tests on, so we'll see how the heck that operates, because we have Hogwarts Legacy. We're gonna I would love to do Elden Ring, but again, guys, I don't like playing games that I'm tied to the internet. I want to take this on the go and play actual games, and that's what makes this really cool. You're not tied to Steam. Now in Steam, you're gonna get some games that, you know, you don't need Steam for, and you could play it. But this is a Windows 11 machine, and you could play just about any game you want even if you don't like it. You know, like I said, some people are going to bootleg and play it offline. So, you know, I would love to play Elden Ring that I'm not connected to the internet. But unfortunately, all the time you got to be connected. So, you know, certain games you could play, certain games you can't, you know, play on the go. But this is legendary, guys. There's no doubt about it. Pretty cool. So anyways, let's get right into it. Just wanted to show you guys all the features here. So just, you know, they said it supports up to 2 when I asked Lenovo. So 2 terabytes, even though I don't see a card that's actually worth it, but 2 terabytes for that you could put in here. And imagine doing a 2 terabyte on the inside. You got a 4 terabyte drive, which is in. Guys, just wanted to mention, so I guess it was right. There you go. 3-month subscription to Game Pass. Not bad. So that's something. Once you download the Legion Go, for some reason, their app, I want to show you. This thing just popped up, even though I'm sure it probably had nothing to do with that. But you'll see also there's a lot of sales here. VIP, all kinds of different pricing for different games. So they have their own, sort of like the Steam Deck does. But I will say this, the Steam Deck still has way better OS because, you know, they kind of catered to a custom everything. Where this thing is more like, okay, this thing needs a little, you know, they need a little work, but it looks nice enough. And hey, we got Windows 11, which I know probably has bloatware and stuff like that we don't like, but at least we can play everything because this is a computer. Like I said, you can do everything on it, emulation, all that. Not that you can't do it on the Steam Deck, you just have to go through more hoops than doing it through here. Now, another thing is this is going to take more space, Windows 11, obviously, than having a Linux OS being, you know, run. But something to think about. But altogether, this is pretty cool. Okay, guys, so after, you know, messing with this, playing a few games, just to let you guys know, I'm going to be doing a video about best settings, you know, when you're starting, when you first get it. I'm going to do a video on that, exactly what to set up and how to set up and all of that. So we're going to do a whole video about that. There's just too much to cover on this, which I think people are just kind of skimming through, and I don't want to do that. Another thing is we're going to be doing games that nobody did reviews on, except for like Cyberpunk. I do want to put that in the benchmarking, so we're doing a benchmark video next that I'm going to show you guys like pretty much all the games and what the frame rates and at what settings and so on and so forth that I'm getting it on. So far, what I'm going to tell you now, comparing, because I used to own the Steam Deck. I used to own the ROG Ally not so long ago before I you know, obviously sold it and then got this baby. As always, I'm not a paid-for reviewer. I buy things with my own money. So here's the final verdict, okay? If you guys have a, you know, if you guys have a Steam Deck, all right, it's kind of getting to the old technology right now, even though I really love it. It does have positives in it. Great OS. This thing cannot touch it. ROG Ally, you just cannot touch it with a Windows 11 and not a custom base where Valve did their own custom work and everything just is great. The community is great. The updates are great. Everything that's coming out from the Steam Deck community is incredible. But at the same time, with the Steam Deck, you have issues with anti-cheat, with all kinds of other games that are that are not compatible with it, unless it's approved by Steam. But again, they also customize and they utilize all the power of you know, of their system to work with the games that they have on the compatibility list. But again, you're not going to have the freedom to do a lot of things unless you get, you know, install Windows 11. So pretty much it's going to be, you know, if you install Windows 11, I would recommend the ROG Ally. Now, the ROG Ally has way better sound than the Lenovo Legion Go coming out of the speaker. But again, if you guys are like me and you're taking it on the go, you're not going to put the speaker on. You're going to put the, you know, you're going to put your Bluetooth. You're going to put your, you know, you're going to hook up, you know, whatever your headphones, or monitor headphones also, as these are pretty cool with it also. But the thing, what I'm trying to say is you guys are going to get out of the box a better experience with the Steam Deck, where the ROG Ally and this, you have to do some custom work, you know, to try to get it to balance it and so on and so forth, resolution-wise and all that. Now, 144 hertz screen on the Legion Go, okay? But you can't really use that for all of the games, obviously. You can't really use the power and resolution that this is made for, because some of the games will run like crap on it. So you're going to have to dumb down some graphics. You're going to have to do some work and find sweet spots to get, to get what it is. So I would recommend the Lenovo Legion Go and the ROG Ally for those people who know how to tweak and do stuff. Now, in terms of, if I had an ROG Ally, which I did, but, because I'm a reviewer, I went and sold it, bought this. The $859 mark, and that's after taxes. So $859 is pretty much a hefty price. Now, I'm going to tell you, if I had the ROG Ally right now and I wasn't a reviewer, I promise you I probably wouldn't upgrade. I just wouldn't do it because it's more ergonomic. It's smaller. So if I had the ROG Ally, I would not go and sell that and get this, even though this is a beautiful machine and is really cool. The ROG Ally is just a great system as well, and it's more ergonomic, more compact. You could take it with you, put it anywhere. Like, it's, but we're getting to the point where these portable systems, even the Nintendo Switch, cannot really fit in your pocket anymore. So we're getting into that. So I guess that's why they went the big way and the giant way and all of this stuff. I think in terms of battery power, I think the ROG and this, which was surprising to me, I found it to be about the same, really. If you're playing on performance mode, again, depends on what game, but graphically demanding games, I'm getting about 90 minutes out of it. If I'm getting quiet mode, I could do about 3 to 4 hours out of it, which is not bad, 3.5 hours. If I'm doing like light work, computer work or whatnot, or even playing really dumb retro games, you could get about 3 to 4 hours off of that, which is pretty cool, because on my Predator gaming laptop, again, because it has a separate graphics card and everything and all of the stuff that it does, I could probably at most get maybe an hour out of it with that if it's not hooked up. Again, gaming computers, they're more like desktop replacements. So to be able to take this on the go is pretty awesome, and to have these battery lives, I mean, granted, like the Nintendo Switch, I have 6 hours. That's pretty cool. But I know my friend Yosef, his name is, he works with me, a colleague, and a really good friend. And he told me something, because he has the Steam Deck. He goes, battery power really does not matter to me. And I said, what do you mean by that? I mean, you should get more battery power out of it. He said, do you really play games for 6 hours? Do you really do that? Or on the, or do you play it in like 1 hour, 2 hours? So I told him, yeah, that makes sense. I get it now. It's like 1 or 2 hours. So I do understand that for what you're getting here, I mean, would I love to have 6 hour battery? Of course I would. But for what you're getting here for the price, it's pretty darn worth it. I am not a fan of, even though I love the fact that you could take these controllers out, I'm just not a big fan of the way it comes out. I think that over time it will probably crack. It'll probably, something will happen to the receiver or the adapter. So anything is possible. But the thing is, what kind of gets me here is the way it comes out. It just doesn't feel right. It feels like I'm hurting the unit more than anything else. I do love the fact that there's vents here. But you could feel the wind coming out of there. The fan is not that bad. When it goes into boost, it doesn't make that much of a audible noise. I would say it's pretty much comparable to the ROG Ally. But again, guys, like I said, if you have the ROG, I don't know if I would make a jump to this. I think I'd be happy with my ROG and just be, Ally, and be just fine with it, and just, it's the same. Really, when you get down to it, it kind of feels the same. Now, the upgradability on this is very easy. You could put a 2 terabyte drive in there, and then also a micro SD that supports up to 2 terabytes. But of course, I have a 1 terabyte, so I have 2 terabytes in total. I'm gonna probably do a upgrade for you on camera here, so I'll show it to you. That might be an episode that we'll do if you guys want me to do it. Just gotta, after this spend, I'm gonna have to save money on the other one. I am gonna say something though. I wish I didn't order from Lenovo. Now, why am I saying that? Because you could get a 3 terabyte build from Micro Center. Micro Center, when I went there, I said, okay, how much will you charge me if I were to get the hard drive and let's say you guys upgrade it for me? So they said it's going to be about $180 for the service and then $190 or something like that for the hard drive itself. So I was like, oh, that's bullcrap. And he told me, he said, can you return it? And he was laughing because they sell a 3 terabyte system, which means the micro SD and the SSD 2 terabytes. So it gives you 3 terabytes altogether. They sell that for, I believe, $7.99. So you're getting a way better buy than that. Now, if you guys are upgrading from the Steam Deck, I do recommend upgrading to this if you could do your own tweaking and everything, especially the fact that you can, kind of customize this or even shut the lights, the LED off on these and do all kinds of customizations. But again, the OS here looks pretty dope, but at the same time, they're never going to be as good as Steam Deck, even though they're trying, God bless them. But the thing is, when you have Windows 11, you're also eating up a lot of memory. Now, sure, there's other handhelds out there. I don't even know how to pronounce it. The Neo, whatever, that costs like $1,500. I would never spend that kind of money on that. I would rather build another gaming computer, which I did, a Threadripper, and I would way prefer that over buying a handheld system for $1,500. That's just insane. But to call this affordable even, I wouldn't do that. But would it be, for that amount of money, would I or the everyday man, if I wasn't doing reviews for you guys, or I didn't have the ROG, would I go and spend $859? Probably not. I think it's pretty expensive. You are getting, a lot for what it is. I just think that Generation 2, they probably will have a better system in removing these. And I think that you would get a better buy if you get the second, the next generation console that's going to come out. But as of now, I don't see that it is worth $859. Even though it is worth it, I'm just saying I don't see people spending money on this. Unfortunately, I mean, fortunately, I would say, because I like promoting businesses, it's actually doing pretty well. It's sold out in Best Buy. It's sold out in different places. People are tearing down the walls to get one of these. So I don't know. Maybe, I don't know what to say here. But I myself, I don't believe the everyday man either would spend $859 on a system. Right now, ROG just took down their price. Steam Deck is at a very low price. There's just so many options that are cheaper. ROG, like I said, except for the removable things, which I prefer, because if something goes wrong with the controllers, you could always just repair that or replace that, and that's it, instead of opening up the whole system like a Nintendo Switch Lite. But at the same time, ROG is also more compact, has a better speaker. And, I don't care what these reviewers are telling you, they have a better speaker. I sold mine and I got this. So, I mean, if I was one of those fanboys, I'd be like, this is the best. It's not. The speakers are clearly not the best on this one. But you're getting a better screen, a brighter screen, a nicer screen, I would say. Battery power, shockingly, it's using battery to power this beast. And it has the same as the ROG Ally in terms of battery. That's pretty cool. So, I would say, definitely you get what you pay for, but there's other options out there. The ROG Ally, the Steam Deck are just amazing, amazing units. I love this thing right now because I have orangutan hands, but your everyday man has way smaller hands than me, just believe me, because just like this screen doesn't look big on the on my camera or on any reviewers, when you see this and massive, you wouldn't believe it. But trust me, my hands are much bigger in person than they actually look through the camera. So I'm telling you, for me, this is great, but your everyday man is probably going to say this is too, I wouldn't even say it's heavy. It weighs about as much as the ROG. But it's just not ergonomic for your everyday man. Also this, I really would have loved to see a touchpad that I could actually play in games and stuff, which you could with this. It's just the location of it. Again, if you don't have big hands, the location of it is not like the Steam Deck where it's much smaller, ergonomic, and you could just easily reach it and just play your games. It's just not you know, it's made for Windows navigation. Another thing that I don't like, I wish they had a button here and a button here and a button here. So when you're going in FPS mode, I understand you need it like this. But most of us are going to be playing it like this because the FPS to me is just a gimmick, because I'm most likely never going to use it. Because if I'm already on the table, I'm going to use my Predator. I take my laptop everywhere. So I'm going to use my Predator and play it with a mouse. I'm not going to need that. But yeah, if I was just to take that, it would be cool. I just, in my world, my universe, I don't find that practical for me. Now, because of that, I would say most of us are going to be playing it like this when we take it on the go. So if they had that in mind, why on earth would they not put a button here? Because to play it like this, you're holding it, right? You're going to press this button a lot of times by accident. You can see the placement here is 2. I would have much rather, I would have much rather to have 2 here and then this thing to be an extra one. And then, you know, if you're gripping, you're gripping. But again, like, I just think it would have been better to have the buttons here because of the accidental grip. I don't know, something. Now, another thing is reviewers are telling you that the sound of the fan is too loud because they're putting it down either like this or just flat, which heats up and obviously covers the vents, which is horrible. Here, they have air coming out, but you always need to keep your vents also, as aired out as possible. As any one of us that have a laptop, you guys know that now in laptops, they're trying to get the air to dissipate through the keyboard on my Predator. So, you know, that people are, developers are looking for ways to mitigate these issues. And this just, it's the same kind of concept. So it's coming out this way, but at the same time, your vents are in the bottom, you're going to overheat. Now, do I like the Ryzen chip? Absolutely. I think the AMD processor was a good choice for this system and for any system that uses AMD, only because it runs cooler than the Intel chips. As a person who built computers all his life, I built them, you know, in college. I used to make a ton of money off of that for people. I used to donate my time for firehouses and stuff like that. I could tell you, I absolutely love it. The fact it doesn't have NVIDIA kind of ticks me off because it's obviously an AMD, but Radeon's chipsets have a lot of compatibility issues with certain games. At least to me it does, where NVIDIA, you kind of have a less of a compatibility issue. Again, I don't know how the community is going to be with this, if updates are going to be coming plenty, or this is going to be like Lenovo's first and then they're going to be like next generation, next year, other generation. They just don't care and don't support. There is a huge community in the Steam Deck, ecosystem. So if you guys are looking for something basic right out of the freaking can, you open the box, boom, ready to play. All the games are optimized for that system. Everything is customized for that system. I would go with the Steam Deck, hands down. Now, if you guys are looking between to purchase an ROG Ally or a Lenovo Legion Go, I would say now that ROG took their price down, they're looking much more attractive. I, myself, due to my hands and everything, I would prefer the Legion Go, only because I'm not going to use, the speakers almost ever. I'm not going to, I like to have a big screen and I like to have big controllers. I could yunk my giant, my Bigfoot hands on. So, I would prefer to have the Lenovo Legion Go, just at that price point. If I wasn't a reviewer, I don't think I would want to spend $859 on a system like that, when you could get a far, you could save that money and eventually build or buy your own gaming computer. But again, you want to take it on the go, whatever. I would go probably with the ROG Ally, for your everyday man, because it's going to be priced right. It's more ergonomic, at least I think so. The early ROG, when I got the first Ally, I didn't like it. They had a lot of issues. I had to return it. After a while, it just became better. Again, I don't know how the community is going to be with the ROG as it is with the Legion. I guess we have to see, but I don't think they're going to be a big community like the Steam Deck. So the Steam Deck is just out of the box, where this you have to do a lot of tweaking, and to me I would prefer this. I just am not a fan of how these controllers come out, but I am going to say I love that it does come out. So, all in all, I do love the quick button responses. I love the D-pad. I think there's a lot of potential in this in the long run. I can't wait to see what the second generation is going to be like. But this is really well built, and I absolutely love it. I would give it this definitely an 8 out of 10, only because, again, the way I just find the controllers coming off to be like a mess in the future. I just don't think it's going to hold up. I don't know. I could be wrong, but just that it just doesn't feel right. And there's other issues as well where, there is, that I'm still, trying to navigate through. But, I would say just for that controller issue, I would have to knock off, I'm going to say 2 points. Then the speakers, I'm not going to say these are good speakers. I think they're comparable with the Steam Deck. I don't know. I can't remember that far off, but ROG is definitely the better speaker winner on this. But overall, this is a lot of fun. If you could afford it, I would say go ahead and get it. But I would recommend to actually feel it up. Go to your Micro Center. They actually have it there. And you could check it out. I'm telling you, this thing looks more massive than it actually is through the camera and through anybody who's going to show it to you. So I would rather you guys feel it up, see which one feels better. I could tell you for a fact the everyday man is going to think it's more ergonomic, the ROG Ally over the Legion Go. So again, both of them carry Windows 11. My beauty of Windows 11, you could play emulators, you could play bootleg, all these things. You could do that on a Windows 11 machine. The thing is, you could also install Windows 11 on the Steam Deck, but again, then you're starting to mess with it and starting to tweak. If you're in that line, you might as well, I would recommend leaving the Steam Deck the way it is. For every other game, if you could afford another one, get the ROG Ally because it's priced right, and you'd be really happy. If you want to spend a little bit more money and I'm not really from the big and tall shop, but more like giant hands, I would prefer this over the ROG Ally. I think for me, this is more ergonomic. This feels better in my hand than the ROG Ally, but everybody else and their mothers, I guarantee you, are going to freaking love the ROG Ally. And again, I don't know how the communities are, so whatever. But overall, that's what I'm going to rate it, an 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, however you want to say it. I do love the fact that they did charger underneath for USB-C and on top, so when you're docking it, it's just easier, just when you're putting it on the stand. I do love how strong everything is and how it feels like solid quality. I do love all the connections that you could do. I love that they made it easily customizable. So all of these things are just, pluses in my book. And I just, and I'm playing everything on completely high brightness. Also in the low brightness world, I'm going to say Steam Deck wins when you're doing it on ultra low, where this thing is still kind of lit up. Even the ROG does better than that in the dim feature. Again, these are just, software that they can, I'm sure they could fix that afterwards. But just letting you guys know, that's how I feel about it. I'm curious to know what you feel about it. I'm going to be doing some benchmarks. And again, guys, don't listen too much to benchmarks because, again, you got to customize this to work for the system. If you guys ever had an underpowered system, you know what I'm talking about. And in the 90s, my mom bought me a computer. It was wickedly expensive. I remember I was a kid. I was going nuts. And then a new game came out that was years later, but we couldn't afford one. I didn't know how to build a computer, and that's how I learned how to build. But, we couldn't afford a new one, so I was trying desperately to make games dumber and look good at the same time to actually make a game work. So this is no different. But again, you're working with a smaller screen than a 27-inch, and you don't really notice 4K till it's, like, to me at least, till it's 32 inches and above. So something like this, you can dumb down the resolution. You're not going to feel too much of a hit, but you need to find that sweet spot in every freaking game. So some reviewers are going to do a good job on that. Some are not. Some are going to show you, through the camera, it looks a certain way. You really got to feel this up. You really got to see how it is and see if it works for you. I'm not going to tell you to go ahead and get it because there are other options out there, as you know, like I said, the ROG Ally and stuff. But at the same time, you need to, even with the ROG, because they're not out of the box like Steam Deck, you're going to need to know how to optimize it yourself to tweak it and make it work for you. Okay, so that's my take on it. Let me know what you guys think. Definitely stay tuned. I'm doing a screen protector, one that I highly recommend review. I'm doing a memory card review really quick. There's one I highly recommend that actually surprised me and is on the cheap, so I think you guys are going to be running to get this thing. It's actually cheaper than the SanDisk, and I had some issues with SanDisk, and I'll get into that too in that episode. But I'm also going to do the benchmarking episode just to show you guys what it could do and how much battery life I'm getting out of the games, because I know most of you guys, that's the #1 question you guys are asking. How long does this thing hold up on certain games? Everyone is like, well, it depends what game, blah blah blah. I'm going to be doing a game list that you'll definitely love, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly how long the battery life is on each one and the frame rates that I'm getting and so on and so forth. So anyways, see you then. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. As always, guys, we are the independent channel, the people's channel. I'm not a paid-for reviewer. I'm not a paid-for reviewing yuppie. That's why I opened this channel in the first place, to give the community at large the absolute truth. I love that you guys are offering me always Patreon services, but as you know, I don't do a Patreon, and there's a reason for that. I'd rather you guys save that money. We live in trying times right now. I work 3 jobs to make this happen. I do this to give back to the community, and you guys are giving back to the community. What do I mean by that? You're doing more than enough by commenting down below. You are the jury. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? What do you think about this? Let's together help the community at large make better informed decisions instead of getting ripped off by these paid-for reviewer yuppies who are like, I got a demo today, I got it for free, and I'm going to tell you how it is. Oh my god, it's like so good, but I have to say it's a little bit crappy because otherwise it's not believable. I'm not one of those people, guys. Okay, as you know, I give you guys the hardcore truth. Spent like $8.59 on this, and I'm telling you not to get it. So, I mean, that's pretty big right there. So, I'm just... You know, that's the whole point here. You guys are the jury. We're doing this together to give back to the community at large. We're on our way to 10,000, a little bit over a year of me actually taking this channel seriously, which is not bad at all. Just word of mouth. So share it with everybody you know. You know, it helps the algorithm a lot. So definitely like, subscribe, hit that bell button, share it with everybody you know. Make the family grow. Comment down below. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye. As always, guys, if you like what you see, self-funded here, be sure to check out all my other stuff, from mini-series to unboxings to technology, you know, and Nintendo reviews and 3D printer reviews and all that good stuff. If you like what you see, the only way you can help the channel is by liking this video, subscribing, and hitting that bell button. As many more cool videos to come. Definitely want you guys in it, and I want you guys to be vocal. Definitely comment down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye.